Tonight I'm going to talk about pussy. Now, I know some of you women out there are probably thinking, well, here's just another guy, typical guy, all he does is think about pussy. Well, I'm a guy and I think about it. But the truth is, all of you sitting out there in the audience tonight, you're thinking about it too. I mean, let's take, for example, this young couple's here up front here. Probably, 23, 24, 25? Now, sir, even though you're listening to me talk here, you know what's really on your mind, what you're really thinking, and that is, am I going to get some pussy tonight? So you're probably thinking something like, hey, I took her to this cool little comedy club tonight. Is that good enough to get some pussy? Now, if you happen to be one of those guys that's just a superficial, shallow asshole, you're sitting there thinking, how many drinks do I have to buy this bitch before I can get some pussy tonight? Now, if you are the young lady sitting here, well, you know what he's thinking. And you're thinking, well, he took me to a cool little club here tonight, didn't take me to Ernie's Beer and Pizza Pub for the 30th time. So I'm going to treat him right and give him some pussy tonight. Or you're either thinking, this cheap-ass motherfucker. I mean, he took me to this little cheap-ass comedy club here. I mean, this is Vegas, for God's sakes. I mean, he could have took me to Zoomanity or Blue Man Group or Donnie and Marie. Well, I take that back. If he took you to see Donnie and Marie, you could go home and want to fuck his brains out. And he's probably going to say, you know what, let's just have some warm milk and cookies and get a good night's sleep. Now, one more thing about the man sitting here, especially when your lady friend here is not looking, you've sort of glanced around the room, looking at the other tables and checking out the other ladies. And so I know you've noticed these two ladies sitting to my right here, these two very attractive women, but I'm sure you've noticed that they've been holding hands and kind of smooching up, so they're obviously a gay couple. And being a straight male, I know you've looked over to them and thought to yourself, my God, what a waste of good pussy. But what you probably don't realize is that these same two ladies have looked over at your table and checked out your hot lady friend there, and then they looked over and took one look at you, and then they turned to each other and said, my God, what a waste of good pussy. Now, I look out in the audience there, and I see some young men, single. If you're single and straight, well, duh. I mean, pretty much from the time you wake up in the morning, all you're doing is thinking about pussy. I mean, you could be at a funeral, and you turn to the guy next to you and you say, damn shame about Charlie, but hey, dude, check out all the hot pussy here. Now, as I look around, I see some young women here that look like they're sort of out with the girls tonight. Well, you're probably out with the girls because you don't have a man in your life. Nothing wrong with that, because we all go through periods of time where you don't have somebody else in our life. But if it's been a long time since you've had a man, well, you're suffering from what we call lonely pussy. Now, if it's been some time since your pussy has had any loving from a man, well, then you're probably making more frequent visits to see your little buddy, or in some cases, big buddy, Mr. Vibrator. You know, a whole other topic of conversation is all the really creative, interesting places that women find to hide their vibrators. I actually once knew a lady who took her vibrator and put it inside of a plastic baggie and then hid it down inside of a house plant. I mean, I don't know if she thought that when she watered her plant that the vibrator would grow bigger. Now, if it comes a point where Mr. Vibrator just ain't doing the job anymore, then maybe that night out with the girls is taking on a whole different meaning. Maybe you start looking at your girlfriends in a completely different way. You're starting to think, I wonder what it would feel like. Because if you're really getting horny, well, you possibly could be thinking, I wonder if one of my girlfriends would kind of like to experiment. These three ladies sitting at the table right here, they just kind of all just looked at each other in silence, kind of like, girl, you been thinking that about me? You know, all three of you ladies right now have guilty written all over your face. Now, if the three of you ladies go home tonight and get it on, well, just remember, you got me to thank. Now, I look around the audience and I see some older gentlemen here. And if you are straight, you know that you've looked around this audience a few times a night and thought to yourself, God, I wish I could still get some of this young pussy. Oh, yes, it's nice to remember the good old days. Now, if you happen to be an older woman in the audience, well, you're probably thinking, I wish I could just find somebody to pay attention to my pussy. Now, if you are a gay female here, well, you're kind of like the single straight male. Pretty much from the time you wake up in the morning, you're thinking about pussy. You'd be the lady sitting next to the guy in the funeral, and when he turns to his friend and say, hey, dude, you check out all the hot pussy here, you just lean over and go, well, you got that right. And if you are a gay man, well, you're just kind of kicking back and enjoying the show because you're thinking, who the hell needs pussy anyway? So, you see, when it comes down to it, when you think about it, everybody's thinking about pussy.